Well, certainly there is a big crack on the wall. Nigerian football's governing house has cracked, and the crack has indeed reached the very top at this stage. And the glass house definitely is known as the Secretariat of the Nigeria Football Federation. You also want to imagine that those who were indeed told to administer football indeed have been eased out of office with resignation. Well, cracks on the glass house after 2 missed World Cups. That's the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You also have the probe of 12 and 17 billion naira. That's funds given to the Nigerian Football Federation, and definitely they've worked it. But we'll also be taking a look at the 3 years, 11 months tenure of Ibrahim Gusau, the General Secretary of the Nigeria Football Federation, until he resigned today. He became the longest serving General Secretary in the history of Nigerian Football Federation. For the first time since the year 1991, the Super Falcons indeed will not be at the World Cup, and definitely we made mention of the funds. But let's indeed start with those history behind the resignation of Nigerian football. 6 decades between the resignations, and we start with Francis Giwa Osagie. Indeed, he left the board in 1964, came on board on the 20th of January, and also left the year 1964. And that's the first time in the history of football in Nigeria, the then Nigeria Football Association, which is recognized by the law of the land. That's the first time the entire board of the Football Association will resign in the history of Nigerian football. You also have Chuba Ikpeazu, the then Lagos State Chief High Judge. He had 2 separate terms as the chairman or president of the Nigeria Football Association back then, between 1965 and indeed 1967. He also came back between 1988 and 1989, and then that was when we experienced the entire board of the Nigeria Football Association resigning from office. Until today, where we indeed saw the leadership led by Ibrahim Gusau, the 27th of August, where news filtered in, and the World Press Conference you listened to from Ibrahim Gusau earlier today in the federal capital, where he also confirmed that he and his board member indeed resigned as those who are indeed running the Football Federation. But let's indeed move to other happenings, and that's the record measuring records tenure against historic precedents. Mohammed Sanusi came to office on the 30th of March 2015, and he left on the 27th of August 2026. He spent 4,168 days in office. That's about 11 years, 4 months, and indeed 28 days, eclipsing the record of Sani Toro. Sani Toro was in office between the 21st of December 1993 and the 3rd of May 1999. He spent 2,020 days in office, which is 5 years, 6 months, and indeed 12 days. So indeed, we have the history of the longest serving General Secretary of the Nigeria Football Association. And I'm sure one of the questions Nigerians and non-Nigerians will be asking at this stage is, who would run the Secretariat or the glass house in Abuja? We're willing to be bringing that to you, but then we take a look at a system fallout across all tiers. You want to talk about the men's senior team, the Olympic under-23 team. The men's senior team failed to qualify for the last World Cup. The first time 48 teams will be participating at the FIFA World Cup competition, and also the first time 3 countries will be co-hosting the FIFA World Cup competition. Before then, the penultimate tournament, the Super Eagles failed to qualify in Qatar 2022. And for the records in the year 2024, the Olympic team, that is the under-23 team, failed to also qualify for the Olympic. The women's team indeed have fallen that way, also the way of the men's team. For the first time, the Super Falcons could not indeed qualify for the FIFA World Cup. at the WAFCON tournament hosted by Morocco, won by Cameroon for the first time, and now in the year 2027, when Brazil will be hosting the FIFA Women's World Cup, the green and white flag of Nigeria will not indeed be there. And when you take a look at the youth pipeline, the age grade competition over the years has been a foundation where Nigeria has indeed produced some of the best players in world football. The likes of Kanu Nwankwo played at Japan 1993 World Cup. You also have the likes of Victor Osimhen, who played at the Under-17 World Cup. But under this administration, with Nigeria's failure to play at the Under-17 AFCON Championship, they were definitely not going to make it to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. And that's just it. 2026 FIFA World Cup, the Olympics in Paris for the Under-23 team. The Chan Eagles also failed to qualify for the men's championship. And this were some of the negative moments of the Ibrahim Gusso-led ball. You want to talk about the Under-20 Cup of Nations? Nigeria failed to qualify. The 2027 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations, the FIFA Under-17, they exited at the quarterfinal stage in 2023. Thereby, they could not qualify for the Under-17 World Cup. In 2025, Nigeria once again failed to qualify for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup under this administration. And in the year 2026, the Under-17 World Cup campaign, indeed, they were knocked out by Ghana at the WAFCON tournament in the semi-final stage. So now we're looking at the pathway, the way forward as far as the Football Federation is concerned. And just like we said earlier, the president has been talking about a reform that indeed will stand the test of time. Reconciliation at this point in time, governance reconciliation, aligning the National Sports Commission normalization plans strictly with FIFA non-interference statutes to indeed prevent an imminent global ban. That is, government direct interference is what FIFA does not want. And you also have financial accountability, where the EFCC, the ICPC, and the DSS are indeed continuing with their investigation or probes into billions of naira the federal government indeed put into football, that is football intervention funds to indeed pay bonuses, allowances of the Super Eagles, the Super Falcons, and all other national teams. The electoral reform is another talking point at this stage. But then the million-dollar question is, will the entire board of the Nigeria Football Association resigning? Who takes charge of the federation, the glass house, or the Football Federation, as it were? One thing is certain: the General Secretary, who was indeed meant to call for an emergency Congress, also resigned. Now the affairs of the Secretariat will be run by the Deputy General Secretaries of the Secretariat will be run by the Deputy General Secretary in the name of Dr. Emmanuel Ikpeme. And by now, we expect that the Secretariat would have indeed contacted the Confederation of African Football, CAF, to indeed tell them of the development of things in Nigeria. And certainly we expect a normalization committee to be set up in the coming days. We will indeed keep track of happenings as far as football is concerned in Nigeria and the Football Federation. But at the moment, all this puts the September elective Congress into doubt. We will continue to monitor proceedings as far as Nigerian football is concerned. And certainly that's it on the big story tonight in the world of football.